Good morning, Arsene. Can we start with your team news, please?
Well, we have no new injuries. Olivier Giroud has a test today to see if he can be involved. He had a good training session yesterday, so he's the only one who could come back.
What's the latest on Aaron Ramsey?
Aaron Ramsey is still struggling with his hamstring, and I don't think that he will be available for our next game against Basel or at Burnley. So before the break, he will not be available.
Even without Aaron, there's lots of options. How do you feel your players have responded to that intense competition you have now?
Very well. It's always difficult to pick my team because everybody's doing well. We have seen that again against Nottingham Forest, so it's positive. We have a balanced, mature squad where it's a fight for every single position.
And Chelsea on Saturday, a bit early to talk about season-defining games, but how significant would it be to beat them?
It is an important game for us because we feel we are on the way up, and Chelsea is a good test, good opportunity for us to continue our progress.
Some good news and not so good news there with the injury updates. Olivier Giroud seems to be ahead of schedule.
Yeah, a little bit, yes, because I thought that he will be short for tomorrow, but we'll see how he comes out of today's training session.
But obviously Aaron is a bit behind schedule.
Aaron, yes, we had a few disappointments because he was close to join in again, and every time he is not completely right. He's not far, but we have to be cautious with him.
I know it's different, but given his injury history, are you concerned at all?
Not really, because it's nothing major, but I'm a bit more cautious than I would be.
And you don't need to rush him because of you've got a good selection of.
Yeah, I have, but I would, if he was ready to play, I would involve him in the squad, of course, but he's not.
This will be, I think Antonio Conte will be the 12th Chelsea manager you've come up against. How do you rate the job he's doing so far?
He's doing well because he has started. They have started in a very strong way, and after that they had a little bit slowed down against Swansea, and of course they had the big game against Liverpool that they lost. But I think Liverpool had a strong start, a strong first half, and they nearly came back in the second half. So he has done well.
Has the rivalry between Arsenal and Chelsea mellowed a little bit since Jose left?
Not really, honestly for me it was always just a big game, an important game, and the personal rivalry that you suggest existed stronger before or not was never in my head a concern. What is always important, it's a big game, and Chelsea in the last 10 years had very, very strong teams where you realize that today as well. And before that period, we were always beating them. After, they were always the stronger team for a few years. Now it looks like it's a new era where it's a bit more balanced again, and we feel we are progressing at the moment. So we have a good opportunity to grab and to change what I call the inconvenient facts of the recent years.
There's a headline today, one you'll want to hear, but it's taken from a new book about Jose, in which he allegedly texted a journalist to say, if you keep talking about Chelsea business, he'll find you one day outside of a football pitch and break your face.
Look, I haven't read the book, and I certainly will not read it, and so I cannot comment on that. I talk about football, and that's all I do. I'm not in a destructive mode, never. I'm more constructive, and I cannot comment on that because I'm focused on tomorrow's game and on the way we want to play football.
Back to football finally from me. Granit Xhaka, done enough to a starting place?
Look, we had a good game at Hull, and we had a good game at Nottingham Forest, so I believe that everybody at the moment deserves to start the game and to be in the squad. So I will decide that today.
Has there been any conversation about discipline going into this game? Because in
Yeah.
recent years, red cards.
We talk about that because in the last two games we played against Chelsea with 10 men. And so of course for the result tomorrow it will be important the way we play football, but as well the way we behave, because discipline and results are strongly linked. And the regrets we had in the last two games is that we couldn't play with 11 against 11.
And you mentioned about the gulf being narrowed in recent years. That you obviously were out in front to begin with, and recent history suggests that Chelsea potentially have had the edge. Where do you think that gulf has been narrowed? Is it been with your summer acquisitions?
I would like to think that we have improved, and but that's what we have to show. You know, we are. I think last year we finished second in the league, so you cannot say that. And the first team was Leicester, so we have narrowed the difference between us and all the other teams. But it's a new start, it's a new opportunity for everybody, and we have to show that we can continue our progress.
Under Conte, do you feel you're now preparing against a team that's got a different style of play to Chelsea teams you had in the past?
They have always come to the Emirates with a strong defensive solidity, you know, and to catch us on the break, because they know we like to play to take the initiative. And Conte has very strong players on in transition, like Hazard, like Willian, like Diego Costa, and certainly for us to stop them from being these three players to be dangerous will be one of the keys of the game.
Awesome. Just on Aaron, is it a situation that he's got a strain and you're worried about it being a tear? Is that sort of
he has a small grade 1 hamstring, but he's not completely free in his mind yet to push completely. So we stop him every time when he has a little pain. You know, I think he's in the last days of his rehab, and as long as he's not completely comfortable, we don't push him.
Would he go with Wales?
I don't think so.
You mentioned the red cards in the last two games against Chelsea. Both of those were, for instance, involving Diego Costa. How do you prepare your players to face someone like that who's quite antagonistic, shall we say?
By being completely cold-blooded, you know, and just focus on your game and not respond. Just try to annihilate his qualities and his game. And you need to be committed, but by respecting the rules of the game and by not responding. I believe last year we were a bit unlucky at Chelsea to be down to 10 men because he was sent. He got a red card after, was suspended after, and in the second game, yeah, we deserved the red card because we were caught on a quality run from him.
You had a long rivalry with Sir Alex Ferguson for many years, and towards the end you were quite cordial. Can you see
It always finishes like that.
Do you see that happening with Jose at all?
Look, I do not want to especially comment because we play Chelsea tomorrow. I have no personal problem with anybody. I respect everybody in our game, and I don't feel I comment a lot on other teams. Or sometimes maybe just I say what I think, but that's part of the way I am.
Yeah, I mean, but in fairness, it's not every day that one manager is quoted as saying he wants to punch another manager in the face. I mean, you must have some reaction to that. I mean, it's amazing.
What is amazing is that this has nothing to do with our game tomorrow, and I personally am just focused on doing well my job, you know, and on respecting everybody else.
Do we have to wait for your book before we
I don't know. I will maybe make a book one day, but I'm not ready for that yet.